Let's tilt the Cowboys and build some Showdown lineups. It's another Showdown Cram.
I suffer from a debilitating condition known as atropic chalkitis.
Peter's one of the greatest depositors I've ever seen.
Trust the process. Let's go. Let's go.
I got auto matched with Levitan. This is bullshit.
If I just go the other way in that 66, I win all the money. All the money.
If I had 150 lineups, I'd win too.
Process over results.
Illuminati make a bitch go crazy. I don't know which one of these my baby. Bust down AP, Cody 5 bullets in your head like KD. Bust it, bitch go bust it. And I had 10 pints with me in Russia.
Hey everyone. How are we doing? I assume like me, you're a bit distracted trying to watch the end of this Dallas game, which has just been incredibly painful, very painful. Was pretty heavy on Dallas in a lot of these playoff contests, and they are just horrendous. So how do we move on? Well, we make some Showdown lineups. We pick up the pieces here, and we set our sights on this game with the Chiefs and the Steelers. No big inactives news tonight. I think it was just Josh Gordon out for the Chiefs. Otherwise, about how we predicted. Sorry, I'm watching this down here, and I'm actually behind you guys on this, and we got a timeout, so whatever. Yeah, so we have 46.5 point over under. KC 12.5 point home favorites. And I was running some various sim scenarios earlier and was pretty surprised how much the Steelers are popping relative to current ownership. So that is pretty interesting to me as far as how we want to tackle this. Looking at the captains, Deontay Johnson looks like the best captain play. I'm seeing around 8% average ownership on Deontay, and he's popping in the Sims at about a 14.5% clip. So that looks like a nice play there if you're wanting to get on Deontay. And it makes sense to me because I do think the field is going to be on the Chiefs mainly. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Darrell Williams, even Kelsey, I think are going to get more ownership than... Sorry, I'm watching this game now. All right, that's the game, right? Little end around there. First down, Debo. Okay, game over. I mean, Deontay Johnson has been absolutely insane this year. As usual, I was reading Cody Main's article before this. Cooper Kupp, 191 targets this year, is the only guy who has had more targets than Deontay Johnson. He's at 169 this year. So I feel pretty good in Big Ben's last home game, rolling out last game, likely rolling out Deontay Johnson, because you know he is just going to pepper the shit out of Deontay Johnson tonight. He's really the only captain leverage play. One other interesting thing to note about the captain stuff is Travis Kelce looks like he is being over-owned. I'm seeing about 10% captain ownership for him, and he's only appearing in the Sims about 5% of the time. So Kelce looks like a captain fade tonight based on the Sims. As far as the flex plays, all of the best flex plays are the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger showing 18% differential in the Sims relative to the average ownership. Pat Freiermuth showing 15% positive leverage there. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, who of course is famously priced at $200, is showing 10% leverage there. He's catching about 20% average ownership, but showing up in our Sims 30% of the time. And that's even without us giving him a huge market share. We have him at a 10% market share, and he's still showing up in the Sims that much just because he is so cheap. Yeah, Neil asking me how I feel about Juju coming back. I don't think they would necessarily rush him back or whatever. He's been out for so long. I think he's probably pretty good to go. The report was that he was going to split time with Ray McLeod, who's obviously priced way too high at 4,600. Ray McLeod's probably your pay up to be contrarian option, just because people are going to be pretty excited about playing Juju. My only concern with Juju is the ownership. If it comes in higher than 20%, which it definitely could in small field, I actually haven't seen many tweets or other further updates on kind of his health and that workload. So I guess I don't really have a good read on if the field is super excited to jam Juju or not. But if you are playing single entry in 3-max stuff, I would be careful about his ownership. I have a feeling in those contests he could be much higher than 20%, but I think that'll probably be about right for the large field stuff. As far as other flex stuff, so I mentioned Big Ben, Freiermuth, and Juju all look good to me. The kickers not looking good, but that's pretty par for the course. Travis Kelce, again, as both a captain and flex play, not looking too hot. He shows up in our sims 29% of the time as a flex play, but he's going to be rostered at about a 40% clip from what I'm seeing. So Travis Kelce kind of looks like a fade tonight. Obviously, he's always susceptible for going off, but just based on how the salaries and the sims are projecting it, I will largely be fading Travis Kelce tonight. Let's share our screen here, show the sims. I should also mention, I mentioned this last night, Run the Sims is doing a half off playoff promo. So you can get 50% off the entire package. This is the whole suite for the optimizer, for the full, 2-game, 3-game slates, as well as the simulator for all the Showdown slates. It's $69, but you can actually get half off with promo code Pete. That's $34.50. You can run these Sims for literally every single slate. I've just been doing the Showdown crams for the featured contests on DraftKings because there's the bigger prize pools, but you can get in here. You can do the Yahoo. I actually played the Yahoo 3-game slate today, was looking at lineups with the optimizer in here. So if you're looking to get in on the action here, it's a very nice price point at $34.50. Come in, the water is warm, try it out. What was I going to do? I was going to share my screen. That is what I was going to do. We have the Sims up here so I can show you guys some of what I am seeing here. The game totals, the implied points for the Steelers on the slate is 17. I was messing with inputs here. Let me refresh that. 29 implied points for the Chiefs here at home. We see both of them have fairly low rush rates, so could be a pass-happy affair, especially if the Steelers are able to keep it a little closer than the line would suggest. But we'll run the Sims here and look a little bit at some of these lineups. Is crazy stuff going on in this game still? I stopped paying attention. I kind of checked out because I just assumed it was over. And now what the hell is going on here? I'm just going to press on and hope you guys will tell me if I'm missing anything interesting here. So looking at the custom lineups in this default, this is the baseline sim here. You can see how many Steelers are showing up here. The top lineup, this lineup appears 33 times in the 10,000 simulations, is a Deontay Johnson captain in a 4-2. So you're playing Deontay Johnson, Ben Roethlisberger, Najee Harris, Juju, Darrell Williams, and Tyreek Hill on the bring back. You can see the product own is fairly high, but not as high as some of these other constructions. I do think just having Deontay Johnson at captain would make this lineup relatively unique in a small field or single entry. It does seem like this lineup right here is getting much closer to the chalk. I think this is probably your most duplicated lineup. You have Darrell Williams, captain, Najee, Juju, Deontay Johnson for Pittsburgh, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. That product ownership is through the roof, and that kind of checks out for me. A 3-3 build. Here is my bet on one of the most popular lineups of the slate. But you can see here, it's not too hard to get a little bit unique. Here's a Tyreek Hill captain lineup that looks fairly unique. Tyreek Hill, Mahomes, Darrell Williams, Chiefs D you toss in there, and then you include Juju in Najee. I'm guessing just Chiefs D with Najee would be relatively unique, that people wouldn't necessarily want to play that combination, but you see that has a pretty low product own there at 54.6. Let's see if we can find, here's a 7.4. Where's my 7.4? Tyreek Hill, Mahomes, Pringle, Darrell Williams, Chiefs, and just Freiermuth coming back. That one's pretty interesting. I do think Freiermuth, Freiermuth is going to be incredibly touchdown dependent. I think that's always the case, but even probably more so now that Juju's back in the mix, just another guy to compete for targets over the middle. But I also don't think he's going to be, super popular. And he's showing up in our sims a good amount, which to me is pretty interesting. He's showing up 35% of the time. I'm seeing his average ownership around 20%. So I kind of like that play as far as what the sims are saying here. If you guys have a situation, a scenario you guys would like me to run with the sims, we can see what some alt scenarios look like and see if we can get anything else to pop. We could run a Steelers upset. We could run a Chiefs blowout. We could run a surprisingly low scoring game. I ran one of those earlier to see what that would look like a 17-10 Chiefs win. So I'll see what you guys think here. Roll a Chiefs shutout. We could definitely do that. All right. It is 4th and 6, and now they are punting. Okay. So this is somewhat interesting. So you're saying there's a chance. Man, this is very hard to sweat a game and do a showdown, Cram. But yes, Eric, let's try a Chiefs shutout. Maybe. Yeah. So, all right. So we want to do it. Let's lower the Chiefs score just like a little bit. We'll do like 20. You want to do 24-0. We'll even lower the Steelers pass rate a little bit, and let's boost the Chiefs a little bit. If they're winning 24-0, let's run these sims and see what we get. All right. No surprise. We get a ton of Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs, of course, the defense is going to appear 64% of the time. That looks like an absolute jam. It makes sense that Darrell Williams is a jam. Unsurprisingly, Deontay Johnson looks like a good play. Man, it is very... How did I think this was a good idea to try to do showdown crams up against the end of exciting playoff football games? Have just the teeniest amount of hope that Dallas could pull a fucking Hail Mary out of their ass. I can't believe that Cedric Wilson catch on that previous drive didn't get secured. Let's see the custom lineups on these. So not a surprise that you're just going to see. Well, actually, there's some Steelers builds mixing in here, but 5-1 Chiefs, 4-2 Chiefs, 4-2 Chiefs, 5-1 Chiefs, 5-1 Chiefs. So yes, it makes complete sense that if you're playing for a Chiefs shutout, that you're going to be rolling out 4 and probably 5. Oh, wow. Little hook and ladder. Sean asked, is Claypool the best leverage? No, I was looking relative to the sims. The best leverage is Big Ben, Pat Freiermuth, and Juju per the sims. Claypool actually not popping well in the sims. He actually looks like a neutral play. 24% average ownership and 24% in the sims. So I do not have a strong take on Claypool either direction. He's a boom bust guy. He's going to get used further down the field. And I think it's always fine to take that kind of risk on in showdown. But leverage, I don't know if he's necessarily offering it. Oh, now the Cowboys want to use Pollard. They finally decide they want to use Pollard. Let's see here. What else do we have? As far as you'll notice here, though, look at the product own in these ones compared to the other. I mean, we literally had in the default sim, some of these lineups had over 1,000 product own. And these are all sub 75. So it does go to show you, if you want to play a different game flow scenario, you're going to get these lineups much, much more unique. I can't believe Dallas is live here. So I like that. I mean, you can run out. This is an interesting one. And these are the kind of funky ones that I like, that I don't think hand builders end up on, because even if you're playing, you could play a Chiefs shutout This is crazy to me that this lineup appears 28 times in a Chiefs shutout. You just get Darrell Williams and Kansas City Chiefs, and then you have 4 Steelers. Just racking up a ton of garbage time PPR points, I presume. That's pretty crazy to me. Deontay, Najee, Freiermuth, Big Ben with Chiefs D and Darrell Williams in a Chiefs shutout. That's pretty wild. Let's see. Let's do one more scenario here. The other scenario that I think let's do it the other way, just because no one ever feels comfortable running the Sims like this. Let's do like, let's say the Steelers were already, I guess. I was just saying the Steelers are already showing up in a ton of these, but let's see what it looks like if they win. What the hell happened at the end of this game? Are you kidding? No way. They ran the ball. They ran the ball with no timeouts. Are you fucking kidding me? Mike McCarthy has to be the biggest idiot. What in God's name? Jesus. What? This game was absolutely insane. I mean, how many decisions in plays can you go back to with just the most bizarre decision making by the Cowboys? Leaving the punt team on the field after you completed the fake punt? Jesus. Devin sweating golf right now? I didn't even know there was a golf tournament this weekend. Good luck, Devin. Good luck. Let's see here. I still can't believe this play. What are they doing? They had 3 to 4 free plays on the sideline getting out of bounds, and then you decide to run it with no timeouts. Exactly. Makes zero sense. They could have had two cracks, 2 nice cracks at the end zone. Insane. I'm on tilt, guys. I'm on tilt. These custom lineups here, we see a ton more Chiefs. I think if I have my macro takeaway for Showdown construction after running a few of these different scenarios is I want to be heavy on the Steelers builds, the 4-2s, even the 5-1s. I mean, the fact that we had a 4-2 Steelers build show up in a Steelers shutout where they get shut out says to me that the salaries and the way the Sims are lining things up projects pretty well for them. So if you have the stones to do it, I highly recommend rolling out some Steelers heavy lineups. They seem to be offering by far the most value on this slate. I will be back. Yeah, you are. We didn't do Tilt Space today, but you are getting my live tilt reaction to the end of this Cowboys game. I will be back again tomorrow night to do a Showdown, Cram. We won't have any other games to be distracting us, so we can dial in on that Rams-Cardinals game. We'll do that around the same time as we've done the past few nights, around 7:40 p.m. Like I said, you can get hooked up with Run the Sims. It's 50% off right now through the rest of the playoffs. That'll get you tomorrow night, the divisional round, conference championship, and Super Bowl. Highly recommend it. Also get you access to the Run the Sims channel in the Deposit Discord if you've been meaning to check that out. Good luck tonight. Hope you guys take down a tournament. Until then, we will see you guys next time.